Hi, I'm Chris with Wobbly Otter Outdoors, and this is a review after 1 year of use of the Smittybilt Overlander tent. In this follow-up review, we'll look at some of the areas of the tent that are receiving wear, some areas that you might expect to see wear, and address questions we've been asked in the comments on our previous Smittybilt videos. The compression straps slide up through the D-ring, come back over, and Velcro down to hold the cover in place during travel. Over time, the Velcro won't hold as well. And on one of our trips where there was really high wind, we looked back to see that the strap had come loose and was flapping in the breeze. We looked for a solution to hold the cover in place should these straps fail. The solution we decided on are lashing straps. We got 2 of them. Each is 12 feet long. So what we'll do is just run them over the top and around and lash them so they hold the cover in place. When we looked at other straps, cargo straps, compression straps, things like that, they were quite large and bulky with their buckle, and we didn't want them slamming against any part of the cover or the bottom of the tent. So that's why we went with the lashing straps. And we will put a link to them in the description below. Another item on the tent that will eventually wear out are the compression straps. There are 4 of them, 2 on each end. The one on the non-hinge side loops over twice. The one on the hinge side just loops over once. As long as you have a good secure way to keep the external cover on, these shouldn't get that much stress and be a concern during travel. While we're on the topic of the non-hinge compression straps, let's talk a little bit about the effects of keeping bedding inside the tent when it's folded up. As you can see, when we undo the compression strap right now, the tent doesn't pop up. That means that there's no stress on those straps. And when there's no stress on the straps, then the Velcro will hold better and will last longer because there won't be any pressure against it to come loose. When you have a lot of bedding inside the tent, when it's folded, the bedding will also be folded, which in effect doubles its thickness, doubles the thickness of the bedding inside. The more bedding that's inside the tent, then the more the tent will be fluffed up, and the more pressure that will need to be applied to the compression straps to hold them down tight. The 2-inch foam mattress that comes with the tent will always be in when you fold it up. It doesn't add any to the bulk when the tent's folded. And we have successfully kept things like lightweight or summer sleeping bags inside the tent when it's folded up, and they don't add enough extra fluff that there needs to be more tension put on the straps to keep the tent folded snugly. This is the cover for the rooftop tent. We haven't had any trouble with wearing spots or tears or rips anywhere on the cover so far. It's made of a very thick material that has a woven component to it, so it's very well made. Also, underneath the inside edge is Velcro. This is the Velcro that attaches to Velcro on the outside of the tent when it's folded up to help keep the cover in place so the wind can't get under it to try to blow it off. This Velcro is very wide and it is still staying in place pretty well. We're not seeing any signs of this Velcro wearing out like we are the Velcro on the compression straps on the tent. The poles that hold out the cover of the windows on the sides and the fly on the ends does bend a lot. We haven't had any trouble with them breaking. They do get quite a bow in them, so every so often we will just flex them over our knee to straighten them out. When you purchase your tent, it will come with a little plastic rubbery cover over the hooked end of it. Those will come off, you'll lose them. That's just what happens. This is the inside of the tent. These are the bungees that hold the sides of the tent in when you close it. There's 2 that go on each end. The other 2 go here. This is a humidity absorber. We put one inside the tent when we fold it. We also put one above the ladder and underneath the exterior cover. When you receive your tent, It has a 2-inch foam mattress that attaches to the base of the tent with a Velcro strip. The brown mattress cover is removable and you can wash it. In spite of that, we have always covered the mattress with a canvas drop cloth. I believe it is a 6 feet by 9 feet size, and after you wash them, they are so incredibly soft. We bought 2 of them. Every time we return home after a trip, we take the canvas out and wash it and replace it with a clean one before we put the tent up. Down at the far end, this is the shoe holder. We don't ever use it. I usually have it underneath my sleeping bag. We just keep it in here just in case. One thing we've noticed with the 2-inch foam mattress is that if we sleep on our side, sometimes our shoulder or our hip will touch the floor of the tent, and it's not very comfortable. So what we've chosen to alleviate that is the Climate Insulated Static V sleeping pad. It is inflatable. This should give us that extra support so our hips and shoulders don't touch the floor anymore. We'll put a link to these sleeping pads in the description below. In the comments of our previous review video, several folks had asked about how it does in wind and rain, and we did a follow-up video where we said that we had not had any rain come in. We had experienced the tent at that time in very, very high winds and gusting winds, and also in rain, but at that time we hadn't had any wind and rain at the same time. Since then we have. The tent was parked broadside to the wind, so the rain was hitting directly up against the side, and when it's hitting up against the side, the only weak point that we have seen anywhere in this tent for the potential for rainwater to get in is on the side at the hinge area. The seams don't leak. The fly is a very good material and held in place very well. We have never had any trouble with water coming in through the tent, through its seams, or any places like that. The only weak point is the side flaps at the hinge. There are 2 parts to the flap at the hinge. There's the outside part, which has Velcro on either side that hold the outer flap shut until just about the height of the mattress that's inside. We'll lift it up and move the inside flap for now just so you can see what's on the other side. On the inside of the tent, this is the side where the hinge is, there is a flap on the inside also that goes down, but it doesn't have Velcro that holds it in place. It just laps down around the base there. So it does a decent job of covering the hole. You can see, I hope you can see, there is a little daylight down through where the hinge is on the base of the tent. Now rain doesn't usually rain up, so that's not a problem. We had clothes against the side of the tent at the hinge area, and the wind was blowing the rain directly against that side of the tent. The clothes that were there were wet the next morning, and also so was our little canvas cover and just a very small bit of the mattress itself. So that's another reason we really like the cover. You can simply remove the canvas to get rid of a lot of the moisture. On the night that the rain did come in through the side of the tent at this little flap, I don't know that we had the flap completely secured like this and tucked in underneath. When we had arrived in camp that night, it was dark and we were putting the tent up in quite a hurry. So I can't fault Smittybilt on their design on this one, and certainly the rest of the tent is well designed as well. One of the concerns we've seen expressed regarding the Smittybilt rooftop tent, and it was especially mentioned by DePizzo, who left a comment on our initial review video, is the ability of replacement parts. When you look at the Overlander tent on the Smittybilt website, there's no mention of any replacement parts anywhere on their site. So we wrote to Smittybilt and we asked them. We said, hello, we have and enjoy the Overlander tent number 2783. We've had it for about a year and have traveled 10,000 plus miles using it. Is there a way to purchase replacement parts for it? Things like a new rain fly, travel cover, and flex poles that hold up the window and the door awnings. Smittybilt responded fairly quickly, saying, hello, yes, we have replacement parts for our tents. So I don't know how you're supposed to get them. I would suppose that you would contact a Smittybilt dealer or contact Smittybilt directly and arrange it. We were given no information about pricing for those replacement parts, availability, how many are in stock, if any are in stock for sure or not. So it's, even though they indicate yes they have replacement parts, and I would hope that they do because of that, we can't say that there's any guarantee because we didn't find anything specifically on their website as a way to purchase them directly. The only things showing sign of wear are the things that you would expect to show wear in any circumstance, the ones that get the most use, which in this case are the compression straps and the straps that hold the cover down, and those are easily rectified. When the rain came in the side, we still didn't see that as an issue. For one, not much rain got in, and two, we had clothes and cloth materials up against the side, and that probably wicked in some water. So I suppose the big question is, based on our experiences with the tent, would we buy it again? And the answer is yes. We've been very happy with the tent. It's done everything we asked it to do. When compared to similar tents of different brands, the price is a good value. We sure do appreciate everyone who's watched and commented on the Smittybilt Overlander tent review that we did just over a year ago. And we hope you find value in the information that we share with you in return. Thanks again.
Thank you for watching and subscribing to Wobbly Otter Outdoors.